Welcome in to Wildcat Sports Talk. Let's join Adam Webb and Tim Brandstetter now.
Well, welcome into Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily. My name is Adam.
And my name is Tim.
And I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the show. Big Blue Nation's best kept secret. We are Wildcat Sports Talk. And if you are tuning in this week, well, we're in the thick of June now, Tim, and it's here. Summer's upon us, and I love it because it's warmer weather.
Yeah, I mean it's nice. It's just if there is a slow time in Kentucky sports, especially basketball and football, it's right now.
Exactly. Let's go ahead and bring in our other co-host, Ramon Harris, the Alaskan assassin, of course.
I just recently owned that.
Well, I can't hear him. Hold on. There we go. Try it again. One more time.
I said I just recently owned the Alaskan assassin thing.
So you just like that? All this time you hadn't owned it up until then.
I used to deny it. They used to call me that. When I was in my AAU days, and especially when I came on the scene, to Kentucky and Georgetown and Tennessee and Florida State, it was the whole Alaskan assassin thing, and I didn't own it. I didn't own it. I just recently owned it this week.
This week, well,
that's new. That's breaking news.
This week.
We can't just skim over that. We've got to focus on this.
Well, now what about Razor Ramon? Did you ever deny that?
Yes, every time.
Still deny it?
Yeah.
You're not going to ever embrace Razor Ramon?
It's not. It was. I never took it.
Where did it come from?
Way.
Where did it come from?
It was a wrestler. Razor Ramon was a wrestler.
Yeah, there's a wrestler now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
He's a wrestler. He was Razor Ramon.
But why do they call you that?
I don't.
They're used to hearing it.
Yeah, I just didn't know how that applied to me.
Right, and it didn't apply to you. I agree with that. Yeah.
Not that it was a bad name, or I was a fan of Razor Ramon, the wrestler. I just didn't know how that applied to me.
Right. Now, last assassin. Now, you can get. I'm glad you're finally getting behind that one.
Yeah, I definitely am. I changed my IG name to that. You know what I'm saying? I just recently owned that. This week, like I said.
And I the only reason that I called him that is because he put it on the StreamYard here.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'd be switching it up every once in a while.
On this show, on our show, he's been called that from day one. Every time fans get on here and watch the show, they'll say Alaskan Assassin.
Yeah.
Although
you can't get that license plate though, that's too big.
No, I can't get that. Hey man, respect to the originator of it, Trajan Langdon. The originator of the Alaska Assassin. But I just owned it, man. Some things just stick.
That's right.
And I'm pretty sure I'll change it again eventually.
So in some UK news, Chin Coleman gets an extension. And actually that comes as a surprise to some people because they kind of thought he might go elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Right. I've seen that recently. Congratulations. But
yeah.
I mean, that's probably why he got the extension, so, because they thought he was afraid of that too.
I mean, but, well, I don't want to say that. I got to be careful. There's some things I got to be careful. I can't say, but I'm just saying so anyway, he got the extension. Yeah. All is well. Good for him.
And you know what? We met him.
Just leave it at that.
We met him, and he's really cool.
He is very cool.
He's a shoe guy.
He loved our shoes.
Ramon, I don't know if we told you that, but from what we gathered from some of the players and other coaches we had talked to, that's the guy they pointed out. They said he is the shoe guy on the team. So I know you really click.
Yeah, for sure. I know that I love sneakers, and it's been a while since I purchased some. Think about it. It's been a while. So, but I still love shoes. I know I love shoes. There's always something. You can always find a way to connect somebody if you want to.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever shown him my ones.
I don't know if you have or not either.
Well, you got
Oh, you got to see them.
I didn't see these before. I never saw these until Adam got them. Yeah, I never saw them until Adam got them.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah,
Kentucky blue too.
yeah. Hey
Yeah.
man, Kentucky man. I'm in a group chat with some friends of mine, and some of them are Duke fans, some are North Carolina fans, some are Kansas fans, and just be talking mess. And I put this jersey right here, the blue 22. I took a picture, I put it in the chat, and they was like, "Oh, that blue nasty." I said, "It's okay, Dookie. Y'all not used to finer things." When it comes to colors.
Right.
So, it's just fun to just joke around and play a little bit. But that Kentucky blue is different, man. It's different.
It is, and I had never seen these, and when I saw that these were in my size and available, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get these.
Yeah, I got to do it. Like sometimes
It's
you
blue.
just can't say no.
I mean, it's blue and white, and the blue is the primary color. You don't I've seen them where the check is white, it's blue,
Yeah.
and then the whole shoe is
But
white.
when you mix a pair of J's with blue and white, you just can't go wrong.
No,
Right.
and especially ones because they are the most comfortable Jordans on the market, in my opinion.
Unless you want to run.
I mean, yeah.
Unless you want to run or jump in them, then you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I would say the 10s are probably the most comfortable.
I don't know if I've ever worn 10s.
You ever worn a 10? Come to think of it, I don't think I have either.
I don't think I've ever worn a 10.
10,
I like the 11s, but
now that I'm older, I'm real specific about what shoes I wear. When I was younger, I could wear anything.
Out of the ones I have, I like wearing the 5s. Are the most comfortable for me.
I got a couple pair of 5s. They're not bad.
Yeah, they're a lot more comfortable.
13.
The 4s are heavy.
Yeah, 13s are my favorite J's. So
that's right. That's right. As you guys can tell, we're filling time, and I mean another time. So we're filling time talking about anything and everything because there's just not a lot of news right now. I know Shaedon Sharpe. We can talk about where he's projected to go. I think he's projected to go 8th or 9th to the Pelicans. I want to say it's 8th to the Pelicans. That's where he's projected to go. I've watched tape. He's going to be really good. So I guess I can ask this question because we've not asked this yet. Tim, you've had time to think about it. Ramon, you've had time to think about it. Should Shaedon Sharpe have a really awesome success in the NBA? Are we happy as Kentucky fans? Obviously, we're happy for the young man, but are we ready to say, look, yeah, we claim him?
Well, I'm going to say this, and because I don't want to back out on what I said earlier. As a human being, and as I feel like I am a good person with a big heart, I do wish him a lot of success.
Oh, I think
I'll truly be happy if he's successful. I will, and I do feel a little bit of a connection with him because he did come to Kentucky. But as far as saying that's a former Cat, no, I'm probably not. I'm probably still not going to do that. I just ain't.
What about you, Ramon? How you feel?
I mean, it's hard, man. I'm trying to think from a fan standpoint out of
I know. That's why this show is so different in the last 2 years for you personally. Is because you've had to kind of step away from being, the former player.
Right,
and put yourself in a fan perspective. But at the same time, I know for you as a player, it is La Familia. I mean, he played.
Yeah,
he played.
For sure.
He wore the blue and white, regardless of whether or not he actually set foot on the floor. He wore the blue and white. There's a lot of walk-ons that don't set foot on the floor in 4 years. So my point is, and they're still former players.
Right. Well, the thing is that for one, I want to wish him many success because there's just the way that basketball and the basketball world is changing. He might not be the first. He might be the first to do it, but not the last.
Right.
And the thing is that I'm trying to think about here, just playing devil's advocate. He could have went to any school and did that.
That's true. That is true.
He could have. He could have went to North Carolina. He could have. He could have went to any school mid-season and say, "Hey, listen, I want you to come and get better." And, if it's not the time or place or if I'm not ready, there's a lot of conversations that go on behind the scenes. And I'm not just talking about Kentucky. Well, I'm not saying that it is Kentucky either, because I make sure I throw that out there. But I'm just saying basketball. And
Yeah,
it's just a new dynamic, and
it is. And this whole thing with players getting paid is
right,
one piece of that. But the other piece of that is just I think part of it too, and I'm not saying this about Shaedon directly, but I do think that it has created a certain element of some underhanded things that are going on.
right,
And so here's the question that I don't think we'll ever get an answer to. In January, when Shaedon Sharpe enrolled at the University of Kentucky, was his honest intention to come back next season? Or did he always just decide, I'm going to go there, but I'm going to go to the NBA? I'm going to use that as a stepping stone. Because if his honest decision was to come back and something changed and they were like, look, dude, you're going to go in the top 10 of the draft, I can't be mad at the kid, because if he's my kid, I'm going to tell him to do the same thing.
right.
But if his intention all along was to use us as a stepping stone, I definitely have a problem with that.
Well, my thing is, man, I'm still not mad at the young man for going pro. Not mad at all about it. Like you said, if it was my son, I'd say go. I am a little bit disappointed that we needed him and he didn't play. I mean,
that is the biggest thing. That to me is the big. But here's the thing. At the same time, I honestly do believe at one point in time there was an intention that he was going to play a little bit.
Well, true, but back to your original question, man, you said, do we consider him like a former Cat or whatever? I think if we considered him a former Cat when we talk about these guys in the NBA, without him playing 1 second, I think it takes away from the other former Cats.
And we'll get to your all's comments here in a bit. We'll probably answer a few of those in the chat. But my point is, and if you're listening on the radio, feel free to tell us what you think. You can call the hotline at 859, the Kentucky Daily Hotline, 859-428-8419, and you can leave a message, and we will play your call on our next show. But I just, I wanted to kind of do this one more time, clear the air, and say good luck to the fella. I hope he does well. I hope he succeeds.
Yeah.
But it is time that we move on with our lives. It's like breaking up with a girlfriend that just won't go away.
Well, I was going to say, when you said like, was his honest thoughts and feelings was to play, and this is not no inside information, but I really believe like that when you come out, you're a top 10 pick. The way that the basketball world is set up, they project kids to be a top 10 pick before they even commit to a college.
Exactly. We knew that
so,
when he came to Kentucky.
Yeah, we knew that. So I think for him this is my thoughts. I think his mind was, what school do I want to go to that if I decide that I'm not going pro, that I'll be happy being there?
And you know what? More to your point, I think maybe what could have happened is that he came here with the intention of playing next season.
Right.
And the people that not necessarily his agent, but his handler that would appear to be his agent.
I don't think you said it was the intention of playing next season. I don't think him or anybody that knew him thought he'd play next season. I think what Ramon's getting ready to say, I think he thought he would play this season.
Yeah.
Well, my whole thing is too, and I'm going to say this, and then that's that. When he graduated high school, I think meant everything, and somehow that changed. And whether he got it changed or figured something out or they realized their error, that made the difference.
Yeah.
And I think that it was honestly, here's what I really think happened. I think it was up in the air for him. And so it's like you said, okay, if I've got to play a year in college,
where do I want to
I'm going to go to Kentucky, and if they figure this out, I'm going to bounce.
Right.
And they figured it out.
Yeah. I mean, like, I really think it was like I was watching a different podcast, not gonna say the name, but it had Lou Williams on it.
How you gonna watch another podcast, Ramon? Gosh.
Hey man, this is how you get better,
man.
This is how you get better. It's like watching film.
I know. It's
but,
like
they had Lou Williams on there, and they was asking him like, "Where you gonna go to college?" And like he was like, in my mind, he was like, I knew I wasn't going to college. He's like, in my mind, I had no want to go to college. I knew I knew I was good enough and one of the best players in the country and that I had the ability to go from high school. He said, once I knew that I had the ability, I had no doubt in my mind that I was going to. He's like, I don't care where I was going to get drafted. I just knew I wasn't going to somebody's college. So then now with this dynamic where kids got to go 1 year, now there's other ways to go around that. Go overseas, go prep school an extra year, or whatever the situation may be. I'm going to play half a year that's technically counted as a year away from high school ball. Then I'm going to go pro. Like and kids are graduating early so that they get their first year done so that they can get to the league sooner. Like there's so many avenues to it. But I think just for him, my ultimate goal is to play in the NBA. What is the best way for me to get there, or even the quickest way for me to get there? Because if you see his workouts at the combine, it's clear today that he's an NBA player.
I agree. I mean, and you're exactly right about that. I've watched some video, and it's like, okay, yeah, this guy's good, and and I think that's for me where my frustration as a fan comes from.
Right.
I think
which is respectable.
It's like, man, we really could have used him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, there is not a player on UK's bench that wasn't better than every player on St. Peter's team. But it just they were hot that night, So like, would it have made a difference? Who knows? If he had played sooner in the season, would it have made a difference?
Yeah, I mean
who
we were
knows?
on a downslide before that game,
and that's what my question is would him being inserted into the roster have made a difference? And we'll never know that. And at this point, as I said, we're past it. It doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
But, we all are still talking about it. Now, I want to switch gears completely, take a complete 180 and just go, let's wipe that off, right? Mm-hmm. Because the biggest thing that's coming up is Kentucky football. Mm-hmm. And that starts in just a couple of months.
Right.
Early predictions have us winning 8 games. I just keep disrespecting Kentucky because I think we're better when you do that. I mean, like, just keep disrespecting us. And, some people would say that we're going to lose to Florida. I'm sorry. I just see that as a win. I know it's at Florida, but, like, I see us better than them now. Okay? I see that we're turning that corner. I think Tennessee is another just Achilles heel of ours where we need to just get better. At finishing those games off, because I think on paper we've been better than them for the last 6-7 years.
Yeah, defending the pass is going to be key against them.
That's the thing; they love to throw. Ole Miss is the same way, and that's going to be a tough game. And I think that'll be a fun one to watch. But you know what? I think Kentucky's got a real shot at Atlanta this year, and I mean, people can call me crazy, but I really do believe that. I think they've got a shot with Will Levis, maybe the best quarterback in America. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all? I mean, did you hear that?
He might be the first quarterback pick next year too.
Yeah, Will Levis wearing Kentucky blue, the best quarterback in America. We've got a top 10 running back in Chris Rodriguez if he plays, and I think that he's going to. From what I understand, it's not as bad as we all thought, and I actually think that he's probably going to end up playing. He'll probably miss a few games, but he will play this season. That's some inside info right there.
Back. We're loaded.
Well, we got Cavassier, and we got some others. I think they're the team is really solid. Defensively is what scares me. Secondary is what scares me. But if we're looking at it as a whole, I think they're going to be good. So
Yeah.
A lot to look forward to. We're going to talk about that more when we come back from the break. Let's
And don't forget I also want to dive into some NBA finals when we get back.
Yeah, let's keep this rolling right along. And yes, we are going to dive in to the NBA finals because I got a lot to say about that as well. You are listening to Big Blue Nation's best kept secret. We are Wildcat Sports Talk. Hey, you know what? Don't forget as well, please head over right now and give us a like. I don't ask for that very much, but if you're listening on the radio and you've not had the joy of seeing Wildcat Sports Talk on your social medias, then you probably should do that, right? So just head on over to any of your social media outlets and just search up Wildcat Sports Talk. We're there. You can even Google us.
We'd appreciate it.
You can do that. So just do that, and we would appreciate it. And much love. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily.
If you've been injured in an accident through no fault of your own, you have options. Don't let insurance companies tell you what your case is worth. Call me, Jeremy Bryant, at 606-261-7381. At Bryant Law, we want you to get the highest possible recovery for your injuries. We can help you with your car wreck, slip and fall, or workers' compensation case. No one should have to withstand the pain, suffering, and inconvenience of a debilitating injury without just compensation. Bryant Law, experience you can trust. Come see Kentucky Creative Bistro and Gallery at South Park Center in Corbin. We are an art gallery and bistro serving a variety of sandwiches, cakes, and coffees. We cater to offices, large groups, and deliver to the local area. If you dine in, you'll experience the vast talent that Kentucky has to offer. Our selections for sale include paintings, photography, and crafts. If you are a Kentucky artist wanting to get your work out to the world, contact us today. We are also now seeking writers for our new endeavor, Kentucky Creative Press.
We, the people, are guaranteed 5 freedoms in the First Amendment.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of religion.
Freedom of the press.
Freedom to peaceably assemble.
Freedom to petition the government.
Only the United States has these 5 freedoms so simply bound together and guaranteed. Think first. Learn more at thinkfirstamendment.org.
Kentucky's new 5-star school rating system provides parents with an easy way to find out how their children's schools are performing. Star ratings are based on test scores for reading, math, social studies, science, and writing. They are also based on students' academic growth over 1 year. For high schools, ratings are also based on how well students are prepared for college and careers after graduation and the number of students who graduate on time. Visit kyschoolreportcard.com for the latest information on schools in your community.
The deadly tornadoes that ripped through western and south central Kentucky destroyed homes, devastated communities, and unfortunately claimed the lives of our fellow Kentuckians. Radio and television stations across the Commonwealth have united as one voice in order to help. Please consider supporting the Team Western Kentucky Relief Fund today. Simply go to kba.org and click the Donate Now button. This message of hope is brought to you by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 110,000 participants here in Kentucky who take part in high school sports.
Like what we do? Share this on your socials and tell everyone.
It's Big Blue Nation's best kept secret. Wildcat Sports Talk.
Welcome back into Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily. As we are rolling right along, thank you guys for tuning into the show. Let's talk finals. And I don't want to get too specific on these games because by the time people are hearing this, I mean, we may know kind of where it's headed, what's happening. So
when is game 4? Or is
Friday.
it game? Yeah, we just had game 3, didn't we?
Right. Right. 1 second here. Let me go ahead and do this and this. I need to produce the next thing. I feel like we've moved up. I need a producer now. So,
yeah.
What do you think, Ramon? You think I need a producer now?
Hey man, we moving on up.
Yeah, that's right. So when is game 4? Or it'd be game. Yeah, it'd be game 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Friday.
Yeah,
I think
Friday.
Game 4.
So this will air on radio after game 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So we won't know, but after 3 games.
Well, I can go ahead and tell you it's going to be 2-2. I don't care to
oh,
say
you don't
that.
care to
I
say
don't care
that.
to say that. No.
Well,
I'm not mad at it at all. I wanted to go 7.
Yeah.
Are they going back?
Oh, they're still in Boston.
Are they still in Boston for game 4?
Game 4 is in Boston.
All right. So if it goes 7 though, where does it end?
Golden State.
Oh, that would. I do. I want it to go 7 so they win there. That'd be great.
Yeah. Well, Ramon, man, game 3 broke my heart because I thought my Warriors really needed that game. That's a tough one, man, to fall down 2-1.
I mean, it was 92-78.
Yeah, tough one, man. And they should have won that game, man. I mean, but the Warriors are so good in the third quarter, but so bad in the fourth quarter, it seems.
Right. Yeah, it seems to be like that, man. I will say it is going better than I thought.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. I was glad to see Klay Thompson played much better in game 3. That's big for the Warriors.
So here's a good question for Ramon, because I've wanted to know this, and this, we need to, I know the answer to this.
Uh-oh.
So how does coaching change as it relates to the next level? As someone who's played there, does it change, like in-game adjustments? How does that work? How does that change? What factors are there that might not be at a like college or high school level?
For the most part, in college, there's a lot of plays being called and ran. In pro ball, like the NBA, by the time you get the ball past half court, there's 18 seconds. You don't have time a lot of times to call the play because somebody might be on the wrong corner, then they got to go that corner. So it's a lot of read and react and a lot of ball movement. And you just kind of know, like, where you kind of just know where people are going to be, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you watch the Warriors,
yeah, that makes sense.
a lot of times where Klay get those threes and Steph gets threes and Jordan Poole gets threes, those aren't pre-designed plays. It's just moving around, reading, reacting. Like, you'll see Draymond, go screen for him. Go screen for him. He just made 2 threes. We're getting him the ball. That's not a play.
Yeah.
That's just basketball IQ.
So that's why players can be a lot better in the NBA than they were in college, or not as good.
Yeah, I think for me, just me speaking on myself, I don't want to speak on nobody else's career. I'm a much better pro than I was a college player.
And so,
you developed your game too after college. Like, you became a knockdown 3-point shooter, man.
Well, like I try to explain to people, I grew from like 6'4.5" to 6'8" in one summer. I went from a 2-3 to a 6'8" wing guard, like trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
In college at University of Kentucky, not one trying to figure out my body. I grew 4 or 5 inches in one summer.
I think I almost remember that.
I grew like 4 inches one summer, and then I get a new coach the same summer, and then trying to figure out what college basketball is about, and then get thrown out there and I'm playing at 6'8" instead of what I was used to at like 6'4", 6'5".
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a whole factor.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean,
so
and then of course, you were thrown in playing 40 minutes a game.
That part too. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's and I get it. Like, people say, man, you're playing at University of Kentucky, get it done. I get it. Like, But like Rich Chapman said, playing here is not for everybody.
Right.
I get it. But the dynamic for me, it was just that in college, there's a lot of things like this person has to have the ball to run the play. This person has to be in this position because the play is for this on this side. Like in the pros, like you don't have time to do all that. You don't have time to call a play out. Most times it's a play being called as they're running in transition because you don't have time.
Well, with you saying that, Ramon, it makes me think of another question that is directly Kentucky related. You talk about more in college. It's more so of drawing up plays. We all know Calipari's not that's not one of the first things you think of. He runs a lot of plays. He gives his players more freedom, a little bit more NBA style, a little bit more figured out dribble drive stuff. I don't think we've ever asked you this. Billy Gillespie calling plays compared to Coach Cal calling plays. I bet that was a lot different, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was because Coach Cal's play calling was more. See, we had a dynamic team. So his play calling was more of getting people in the right spot more than getting a specific person a shot, if that makes sense. So, and like what I've seen over time, he's had to draw plays to get specific people shots. So like, but the thing about Billy G is, even though he had a lot that I could say, he was actually one of the smartest basketball minds I've ever met.
Wow. That's big.
He was really smart. Like he was really smart. Like when we came out of the timeout so many times, he was like, this is what they're doing. This is what we're going to do against it. And we walked out of the timeouts like, he's actually really smart.
Yeah, and that's what I've heard. I think you said something about that, but I've heard that before. It was all his other problems.
I've heard that from more than one person about Billy.
But here's something that comes to mind. I'm pretty sure. Well, I think I might have brought this up in the past at one point. But anyway, when the game was pretty much over and it was like a last-ditch effort, I thought Billy Gillespie done one of the most smartest coaching things I'd ever seen. And he knows what I'm going to say. One of the coolest things, it didn't work. It didn't go in our favor, but it left me thinking for a week after that. I was like, dude, that was genius. That was genius. And
we were supposed to get that call. We were supposed to get that call.
It was so genius. I think it was.
What call are we talking about?
Okay, hold on. But I think it was too advanced for the referees. That's how good it was.
Yeah. Yeah. We're talking about at Georgia Tech when
out of bounds play.
Oh, yes.
Out of bounds play. We had
his guy run the baseline and he sets a pick and causes the defender to run over the guy.
Yep. And so we were supposed to get the ball because it should have been a foul.
Yes.
And then because the ball's not in play, we get 2 shots and the ball back.
Yes. And they didn't call it right. They didn't call it. They didn't even call it. Guy standing there, and the guy just flattens him. No call.
Because we could run the baseline.
That is genius.
It was genius. Yeah. Because the defender had no clue.
So then the
defender's just running with the ball, and he's like, bam.
The question is, why isn't that done now? It should be done.
Yeah, because even though it wasn't called, people should be like, they're going.
Or did they change the rule?
You got to think though. That's a situation that don't happen much. Oh man, the only thing that can help us now is this. You know what I mean? It was perfect for that situation.
Well, we had a play like that as well, where when you can run the baseline, somebody can step out of bounds and you can pass them the ball.
Yeah.
And so we would work on it in practice. We knew late game situations, we knew they were going to foul us, but we knew they were going to double team. Let's say they double team Ramel, but we wanted Ramel to get fouled so he shoot the free throws. We knew that, so we knew we would let them trap Ramel, and we have somebody run out of bounds and we'll throw the ball baseline, and then that way now the angle of the pass is different. Ramel just is wide open. Yeah. So we had different dynamic plays like that. It was just situational. We just didn't call it.
Because I think another play that we had talked about before, Ramon, was the blocked free throw.
Yeah. In the rule book, that was supposed to be, I forgot what he said exactly, but it wasn't supposed to, they weren't supposed to get extra free throws on top of that. based on how he was. Because with Billy G, he used to read the rule book. That's how we got those plays.
He's kind of a basketball genius, but he just didn't.
No,
have,
he is.
He didn't have the other things to go with it.
I give respect when respect is due. Basketball mind wise, he was a genius. There was just other things.
Yeah.
But but for him, like I said, there was a lot of times my sophomore year, and we come out of the timeout, and we look at each other like, yo, that actually might work. Like that play might work. So then when you believe that the play might actually work, we're actually doing it with efficiency and with effort.
Right. I bet you were excited about that out of bounds play whenever he called it. You were like, yeah, this is going to be awesome.
The free throw one, I'm not gonna lie.
No,
we worked the okay, the out of bounds play. I didn't know. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
So when he said we could do that, I learned something.
Yeah.
Well, we worked on it in practice.
Oh,
and the free throw blocking, we worked on that.
That's so cool.
He's so
cool.
That's so funny. You know, and the thing is, I said this before. Like, I mean, if he just had gotten other things together, you know, he might have had a pretty lucrative career here at Kentucky. If
he definitely would have. Man, he's not only basketball smart, he's outside of basketball smart too. Like he knew what he was doing. Like from running us to our feet bled to, he knew what he was doing. That was his whole, like that was how he came to be who he was, to get a job offer at the University of Kentucky. That was what he did. That's what he did at Texas A&M. But it was no disrespect to Texas A&M, but you could get away with it a little more. You know, at Kentucky, they watching everything everybody does.
Yeah, I mean, at Kentucky, ESPN's coming up, putting the microphone in your face when you're walking to the locker room in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, but like he was a genius, man. Like I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to, I'm gonna give credit when it's due. He was a smart dude. We just did a lot in his 2 years.
Unfortunately for him, University of Jody Meeks. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. At Ole Miss, this is not the University of Jody Meeks. This is the University of Kentucky.
Oh yeah, good times. Well, so there we went down a road there.
That was good.
Yeah, we definitely did, man. We definitely did.
Plan that. It just happened.
Went
but
LeBron.
What are you
talking about?
I was actually getting ready to say Ramon. Why did I say LeBron? That was a weird.
Well, his middle name is Ramon, so you're not too far off.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
But Ramon. So I sense that you think the Celtics are going to win it all.
I gotta be careful because my mom's from Oakland, and
she's a Steph Curry fan, like me.
Yeah,
my mom's from Oakland. Anything Golden State, they gotta tread lightly. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if either team won. Yeah. From a standpoint of Golden State, it's a story each way.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad that I'm seeing Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, that tandem, being successful. I'm not mad about that.
Very careful.
Well, I am, because there's a dude in Jason Tatum. So
no, I'm just saying. I know. It's a little. There's a fine line there.
You know, at one point in time, as Kentucky fans, Boston was kind of the team to root for.
Oh yeah, well, Patino was there. We had everybody. Kentucky players.
All the guys that all.
Then we had Walker, McCarty, Delk, Mercer.
Didn't Turner have a stint there for a minute?
Yeah, but those guys were all there at the same time. Yeah. Walker, McCarty, Delk, and Mercer.
Yeah,
the '96 team was there with the coach.
Yeah, I mean,
with Boston. Yeah, so yeah. I mean.
And I love.
Just as a basketball fan, a basketball fan, man, I love to see it. I just like to see new things.
Well, here's my thing. Everybody knows I'm a Steph Curry fan. Like, he's by far my favorite player, and so that makes me a Warriors fan. And I became a real big Warriors fan. And I want them to win But if they're going to lose, I'm Celtics are a team that I'm okay with because I always liked them growing up. I always respected, Larry Bird, and then, I always liked the Celtics. So it's better than losing to LeBron. I mean, that'd be horrible.
I mean, the thing is like when KD left the Warriors, it was like they kind of went on a downhill after that for a little bit.
Well, then
so now you see them on the uprise, right? Injuries play a part. They go back to the finals, but they lose in the finals to Toronto, and then the injuries play a part. And it just kind of seemed like they went downhill. But to see them on the uphill climb, for basketball, I love to see it. Like I love to see it. But also on the other side is that there was a time period where they were saying that you would have to get rid of Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. Like those two can't be the leader of your team and you make it and you win the championship or make it to the finals or, they were just saying that it wasn't enough. Yeah. So as a basketball fan, seeing them in the finals, like after people said that wouldn't be enough, like as a basketball fan, like I love to see that too.
Yeah, I really didn't think. I didn't realize. I didn't watch a lot of Celtics games this year. I didn't realize those two were so dynamic. They are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to roll right on into the next break. All right. So let us do that. Let us take a break. And when we return, we'll wrap up another episode of Wildcat Sports Talk. We'll be right back.
If you've been injured in an accident through no fault of your own, you have options. Don't let insurance companies tell you what your case is worth. Call me, Jeremy Bryant, at 606-261-7381. At Bryant Law, we want you to get the highest possible recovery for your injuries. We can help you with your car wreck, slip and fall, or workers' compensation case. No one should have to withstand the pain, suffering, and inconvenience of a debilitating injury without just compensation. Bryant Law, experience you can trust. Come see Kentucky Creative Bistro and Gallery at South Park Center in Corbin. We are an art gallery and bistro serving a variety of sandwiches, cakes, and coffees. We cater to offices, large groups, and deliver to the local area. If you dine in, you'll experience the vast talent that Kentucky has to offer. Our selections for sale include paintings, photography, and crafts. If you are a Kentucky artist wanting to get your work out to the world, contact us today. We are also now seeking writers for our new endeavor, Kentucky Creative Press.
We, the people, are guaranteed 5 freedoms in the First Amendment.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of religion.
Freedom of the press.
Freedom to peaceably assemble.
Freedom to petition the government.
Only the United States has these 5 freedoms so simply bound together and guaranteed. Think first. Learn more at thinkfirstamendment.org.
Kentucky's new 5-star school rating system provides parents with an easy way to find out how their children's schools are performing. Star ratings are based on test scores for reading, math, social studies, science, and writing. They are also based on students' academic growth over 1 year. For high schools, ratings are also based on how well students are prepared for college and careers after graduation and the number of students who graduate on time. Visit kyschoolreportcard.com for the latest information on schools in your community.
The deadly tornadoes that ripped through western and south central Kentucky destroyed homes, devastated communities, and unfortunately claimed the lives of our fellow Kentuckians. Radio and television stations across the Commonwealth have united as one voice in order to help. Please consider supporting the Team Western Kentucky Relief Fund today. Simply go to kba.org and click the Donate Now button. This message of hope is brought to you by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 110,000 participants here in Kentucky who take part in high school sports.
Wondering how you can show your love? Head over now to Facebook and drop a like.
Welcome back to Wildcat Sports Talk.
Wildcat Sports Talk is presented by the Kentucky Daily. Here in our final segment here, if you're listening on radio on 106.3, the big one, 98.5, the Light of London. Of course, if you're listening on all our social medias, we do appreciate that as well, as we are rolling right along and, just doing our thing.
Honestly, think the Draymond Green thing. I just want you to get Ramon's opinion on it. Because where Draymond's wife came out to talk about it, or put it on social media.
Okay.
And what it is, Ramon, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is whenever Draymond come out of the game late and the fans were chanting something, Draymond.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his wife just made a message, and I just think it's interesting. If Adam wants to read it, of course, it does.
Do you know the story?
No, I mean I know what happened with the game, but after the game and with his wife or girlfriend, I don't know.
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, in terms of fans, obviously there's some lack of class there, right? So
I've heard from some guys that I know that played in the league that not specifically Boston, but there's some cities that you kind of got to mentally prepare your mind for.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
is there anywhere in college basketball that is that way?
No, not verbally. Not verbally. I haven't experienced anything. The worst thing I experienced was we played at Mississippi State, and they had us on the ropes, and we, had the game won, and they were throwing Gatorade bottles on the court.
Sound like Tennessee football.
Yeah. They were throwing Gatorade bottles, and one almost hit me in the head. Like when I was on the court, Coach Cal was talking to me, and he was explaining something to me, like telling me, like, "Hey, Ramon, da da da." And next thing I know, Gatorade bottle just comes right here by the side of my head, and I look, and I turn around and look like they just throw it, and then next thing you know, I see multiple Gatorade bottles being thrown on the court. But other than that, nothing racial that I can remember.
So the Draymond thing where the Boston fans were chanting that, to what his wife posted, my kids are there, at the game.
Right.
And, I think there's a lot of things you can chant to get under a player's skin or to degrade a player without going that far with it. I mean, there really has to be a limit.
I mean, Saul would hit the floor and everybody would yell "Daddy's boy."
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's things. Yeah, there's things you can say without using the F word, so to speak.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, with somebody's kids there in attendance. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, like, here's the thing: it's not a chant unless there's so many hundreds of people all doing it at the same time. You can't hear it. It's like you could plainly hear it.
Well, I heard it when I was watching the game last night. I heard it.
Yeah, and me and you both just talked about how much we like Boston. I'm not talking bad about Boston.
Yeah, not talking bad about anybody.
But it's just
we're talking about the sports, the realm of sports.
Yeah, that's just a situation that you're like, all right, let's clean that up a little bit. There's no place.
And what makes it bad is that my teacher used to say, one person can spoil it for everybody.
Yeah.
And in different instances, it was reported that somebody told LeBron, "I hope your son gets in a car crash as he's running down the court."
That's terrible.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things like that's not even cool. Like that's not even in the realm of being a fan.
People that are the biggest enemies against LeBron,
right,
are not okay with that. That's not okay.
But that's totally different. That's totally different. If you say LeBron, LeBron, you suck, or LeBron,
I mean, you're ugly. Say you're
right.
ugly. You know what I mean?
Or LeBron, they used to call LeBron a crybaby, like at one time.
Exactly.
But that's all in the realm of basketball. But when you say like, "Oh, I hope your son gets in a car crash," or "I hope your son dies in a car crash," something
you're
like
not
it was
just
something
a
wrong
bad
with
fan at that point. You're a bad human being.
Yeah, that's just totally different.
That's
totally different.
Yeah, I mean, like,
totally
trash talking's one thing, but like getting personal, that's a whole different level.
And I think that's the dynamic. I think the NBA is trying to exclude. Yeah, we understand. Like Boston, man, Boston fans are passionate people, just like Kentucky fans are passionate people.
Yeah.
But a group of people can ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
One fan in one area of a stadium can ruin it for that whole area.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And what bothers me, Ramon, I'm sure you'll agree with this. People seem to find it cooler to hate than they do to love. You know what I mean? Why do you think it's so cool to show that hate? Just show love for your team. You know?
I mean, it's like I get it. Like you booing and boo and all, like, cause that's kind of playing on the road. And as a player, you kind of enjoy that. Like I know I did. I enjoy playing on the road and fans booing. But when we walk out of here, you're gonna be more upset than me. Like that's the mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there's just certain things, man, that's just not cool. In our society, in the world of sports, like certain things are just not okay.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. Well, we've reached toward the end of the show.
Hey,
I mean,
just
just like that, you know. I mean, that's how we do it. Ramon, any last words here before we let you go, so we can?
Yeah, I had a question that I was going to say at the beginning of the show, but we just got rolling. I totally forgot.
That's fine. Yeah, we got a little time.
I was going to say, recently there's been a report I seen a video and there was multiple different UK uniforms. And it was like, which one is going to be this upcoming season style?
Yes.
And I wanted to know if people feel like we should go more traditional or just something completely different, something new.
I'm excited for either one. First of all, I'm just excited for a change.
I'm going to tell you, and this may be an unpopular opinion, but I hope that it's not. I hope that it's not. I want to get to some sort of a traditional look, but I do want to incorporate black into the uniforms.
Yeah, as a one game thing or alternative.
Or an alternative uniform.
An alternative uniform.
Because those are they're anthracite.
Yeah.
We were schooled on that.
I think I like the gray better. And the reason I like the gray better is because Duke black reminds me of Duke.
Well, see, and I knew you were going to say that, and I'm going to tell you and raise you this. I don't care. Okay, like I
thought you were going to say something really clever.
Like I don't care. Like I don't
totally
care.
I thought he was going to say something like real informational.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Yeah, no.
I was like, man, what's he going to hit with?
Well, I couldn't, and I just wanted to tell you that I was upset that your opinion.
But no, though I'm on the same page as you. I like it, but I think if we go with an alternative, let's do gray. It's better. You know, that gray looks good.
It looks good, but it's not black. And
it's not Duke.
like that right there. That Julius Mays with it, if it had some blue on it, be perfect. Y'all can't see it. No one can see it. But I'm pointing at his jersey that he wore in the Legends.
Well,
game.
all right. Let's get past that. We're running out of time. I'll say this. I like the arched Kentucky. Kentucky arched.
Yes, that.
Yeah, the name Kentucky arched. You know, I like that. I
like the look of the Kitely jersey behind you as well.
The blue one.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. That's why it's in the frame. That's actually my favorite one. Besides the black one and that one are like 1A, 1B. But
that Ramel.
I'm gonna tell you, when I was playing, it's not that we didn't like traditional, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, as a player, you love when you have multiple uniforms.
Yeah,
I know I did. When we had an alternate, like when we wore the black, we was like we didn't know we had those, and we just walked in the locker room and they were hanging up. Everybody was hyped. Everybody.
That is cool. Yeah, it is cool. You know I'm like so that. I think we wear 4 different ones throughout the year.
Yeah, I would think I mean, it just like that's why there's a certain school. I'm not gonna say the name, but they had 4 different uniforms, and we thought that was cool. Like they have 4 different uniforms. You're thinking more gear, more shoes.
Yeah,
you're just thinking more.
2 home and 2
Like,
away. That would be awesome.
But
so what do you like?
I
You like the curved Kentucky? You like the old school? What do you like?
I do like the I actually screenshotted it. It's more old, it's like curved, but the way that the jerseys are cut is a little thicker. Like this one, it's a little thicker across the shoulders. I like that one with the Arch Kentucky, but I was thinking even if you did that on the shorts, if you did like cat scratches on each side, I think that would work.
Mix a little old school with new school.
Yeah, just mix it a little bit, and then obviously you got to have the checkers on the front of the shorts. But I just think like that would give it a little bit of both worlds.
Well, to be fair, the checkers we don't have to have that.
I think they're going away from it.
Like we.
No, I'm saying like just a little patch. Like when I played
little
there,
patch on
we
the
just
belt,
had that little patch on the front.
Part. Yeah,
I got you.
Just a little patch.
You're not going to see that.
But the checkers down the side, I'll be okay if that is not the case. I'll be okay.
It's time for the checkers to go.
Yeah, that's got to go. It's done.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Ramon, it's good to hear from you once again. We'll talk to you again.
Man, I'm back in the thing.
And we will we'll talk, man, and we'll do it all again a week later.
Yes. Also, we're still good for August 6th. That is still the plan, right? August 6th.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I just want to make sure, man, because I'm excited, man. I haven't been to Kentucky since we had our last event, so
I'm excited too.
I always feel safe in the Bluegrass State.
Well, come on. We got all sorts of stuff going down that week, so we'll get together. We'll do it, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Yeah, be good.
All right. So, guys, listen. You heard Ramon. August 6th, big event coming up. More details on that are forthcoming. Tim, another great show, my man.
Hey, man, it was a good one. What I like about this show was that we didn't really plan the show out. It just went in some really good directions.
Yeah, it's good directions. I should have played that by Billy Currington. But, hey, listen, here we are. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Adam.
My name is Tim.
And we are Wildcat Sports Talk. Want to remind you, we are presented by the Kentucky Daily. You can check out the Kentucky Daily for all the latest news. You can check out this guy writing all your latest sports info. Trent Noah to North Laurel. We didn't talk about that.
I know it. There's some exciting things going on.
So, coming around, I think North Laurel is going to be the heavy favorite to win.
Oh, yeah. Reed Shepherd will be back at Rupp.
Reed Shepherd will be back at Rupp. Go ahead and get your tickets.
Yeah.
Get them now. But anyway, we're out the door. Y'all take care. This is Wildcat Sports Talk. See you next week.
Boots to church, so